The first thing we want to do is review minutes from our last meeting, which was in July. I think all the board members all have a copy of the minutes in front of them. If we can do a quick review of that and see if we have a motion to approve the minutes from last meeting or if there's any updates that need to be made. There's one update. Zach Consuelo is from Sandy Cedar.
Not that bad.
Correct. Any other updates to the minutes?
Margin is not on
This,
she's a member.
this was, members present from the July meeting. Yep, but thank you for that catch. Does anyone on the board, motion to approve the minutes with the amendment?
I motion.
Did you get that? Maricela motions for the meeting minutes and Elizabeth is seconding that motion. Okay,
Then just take a vote. All in favor?
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so we're moving on to the second part of the agenda. I did do a really quick welcome to you guys, to the members of the public. Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. My name is Jacqueline Chan. I was voted as the chair for the CAC for this school year. I am a parent from San Isidro School District, and I'd like for all the board members to go around and just say their name, the role that they're representing here at the CIC. I know some are parents, but they were voted to be because they are a teacher. So just, they're going to go around, say their name, say the district that they're representing, and then the role that they're playing here so that you guys get a chance to hear who we all are and hopefully put names to faces.
Hi, good morning. My name is Erica Avery. I'm from Sweetwater Union High School District. I am currently a special education teacher, and I was nominated as the chairperson-elect.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Alvarado. I'm the Southbay Union School District parent representative. Parent representative.
Do you have a sign-in list?
My son attends Nicola. I was nominated as the CAC secretary.
Good morning, my name is Consuelo Carranza and I'm a fourth grade general education teacher at San Isidro School District.
Good morning, my name is Maricela Cali. I am a special education teacher at San Isidro School District.
Good morning, my name is Sally Sagerson and I am a parent. My son is in special ed and he goes to Eastlake High School. I also am a teacher at Chula Vista Elementary School District.
Good morning, my name is America Ellis, a parent from National School District.
Good morning, my name is Melissa Dildo. I'm a parent representative from Imperial Beach Charter School.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Marjan Lopez. I'm a parent. I represent National City. My kids go on Palmaway. Mucho gusto, mi nombre es Marjan López y mi niño va en Palmaway y soy representante de National City.
Thank you, and I know Diana had mentioned that there may be others who would.
Diana Lynn, I'm a representative for the South County SELPA ex facto member, and then we have two other district members ex facto.
Hi, my name is Michelle Strum Gonzalez. I'm the director from Sweetwater in Special Services.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Bevilacqua, Director of Student Services in South Bay Union School District.
Great. Amazing. I love seeing the representation across. So thank you all for being here and for coming together. We're now at the point of public comments. Okay, just want to make sure that I'm staying on track. For public comments, if you did want to make a public comment, you should have filled out one of these forms so I can call out your name. Each person will have 3 minutes to speak. What I will do is I will have a timer here. I will give you a nod when you can go. When you have 1 minute left, I'll hold up a 1. And then when you're all done, I'm gonna hold up a hand. If you're still talking, I may stop you, just to warn you, so that we can go ahead and respect everybody's time here for public comment. So I will put the microphone here, and I want to put my timer. The first person I have is Angelica Martinez.
Can I just go after a few other people?
Oh, sure, no problem. I'm just going in the stack that I have. Christina McDonald. Can't wait for the microphone.
Is it better if they come up? Does it matter?
Yeah. I'm still leaving it this.
That's okay, this is a safe place.
At the beginning of October, in Coronado School District, there was a second grader that went missing from school. I'm not that concerned about it, but I was kind of wondering what what the district's response was in light of that, and kind of any reflections, or kind of like, oh my gosh, this happened in another school. What's it like? What's our security like in our schools? I'll cover back so they can hear. So I just wasn't like.
Thank you for, yes, thank you for bringing it up. So just to clarify, the public comment is meant for the public to have statements. The board is not going to be making comments back to you. The public isn't supposed to be making comments back to you because this is really a working meeting. But what we love to hear is what you guys are hearing in the community, so it's something that we can think about as we work on the things that we're doing for the CAC. And we can, have coordination and things like that. So thank you for bringing that up. I appreciate it, Christina. Oh, wait, you aren't Christina. I was like, I have to think of a better way to do this. Morgan Lopez?
Marjam.
I'm sorry. Marjam Lopez, did you have a public comment? Yes? Okay, great.
Hi, everybody. I come to, okay. So I don't want to make. Okay. Hi, everybody. So I come to speak with my resident here for fighting the right for my kids. That is why I applied for that position. I have one kid who had special needs, and he goes to Pamaway. And I do that because these wonderful girls are fighting for the rights for the kids. He introduced me everything and say, okay, I can do it because I'm finding so much time for how to apply for a request and I don't know nothing. So my opinion is be together in fighting for the rights for my kids and for our kids. More because I am Spanish. And more people here in National City in this area is Hispanic. Who speak, and most of women like me is mothers who know working here in the home, he don't know nothing for the rights for the kids. And that is why I'm a member, and I want to speak for Latin women and say that these ladies can be part of us too and work together. And I'm glad I'm here and know me, and more women like me try to fight it. And the new country too also, like me, can work together and go progress in special needs. That's my, okay? Thank you.
Next I have is Cindy German.
I'm sorry, I hate wearing masks, but I have the flu. So I don't know if I should touch them. Okay.
Hi, this room is full of parents, teachers, and supporters of our students with special needs. Many of us ladies here began attending all the selpa CAC meetings early last year, and we're so excited about how the CAC has come together, and now we have quorum and a board, and we're hoping that you will include all these extra parents who are not on the board, but we want to be involved actively and give our feedback to. And we desire a place to collaborate with other parents, teachers, aides, school counselors, school psychologists, administrators, and special education administration. Thank you for coming. We would like the southbay selpa to include, or CAC, to include all the parents and supporters. We're excited that many districts have appointed their members. And today's agenda includes discussion action items. During that time, I'm hoping you will consider all the supporters' inputs about the topics for the future. Some of the items that many of us who've been coming for the last year would like to see addressed are the need for more than just quarterly meetings. We'd like to see at least 6 meetings, maybe more, and then depending on if training's provided with them. Better communication with parents of students with both 504 plans and IEPs. I have 2 children with 504 plans, and we don't get the same communication usually that the parents with IEPs get. And also when we have our 504 meetings, there's not a school psychologist there usually. So I think sometimes the meetings are not run as well as they could be. And maybe the assistant principals might not know as much as like a school psychologist would know. So anyway, that's something I hope we could work on. Suggestions for parent trainings, we all have lots of ideas. Some I would like to see like to help new parents, maybe who've never had a child with a 504 IEP. Can you give like a whole introductory and at least offer that every year, like an annual training? And then maybe some that are more experienced, like a more in-depth training for those people that have had them before. We'd like to have input on the starting of meeting times, so we can include after work hours for parents that work, or just who might have barriers to getting here at 10 o'clock. Maybe they have transportation barriers. We'd like to see online Zoom access for the meetings. Again, for people who can't make it, or if you're sick, like I am today, I would have attended online. But I really wanted to be here because I'm so excited that we were able to finally meet as a real CAC. Last year, we were trying to get this. And last thing I wanted to see training for was on school administrators. For example, like assistant principals, I don't think they might be as informed on like the 504 accommodations. That's my experience for the last 3 years. I feel like sometimes I might know more about the special education than they do. And I've been told every single 504 meeting by the administrator that they're not going to, like, we don't have to follow those accommodations if the teacher doesn't want to. And every time I just felt really frustrated, like, where can I go to talk to someone else? Because if the assistant principal just tells me in the meeting that they're not gonna make these accommodations, that's the decision maker at my school, where do I go? So that's what I'm hoping you guys can help out many parents like me who have those kind of issues. That's it.
Thank you. Literally on my.
Drop the mic.
Lisa Yegan, is it Yegan or Yegan?
It's Yegan.
Yegan, okay.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. If you are not aware, this is our new awesome CAC leadership that we have fought for so long, and we're so happy that you're here, and we're so thankful for Marja and all the times that she's walked with us and knocked on doors and attended district meetings. And thank you, America, for showing up and for being, who you are. And we really just want to remind all of you that you are the new leadership. You serve the people. You serve the community. You don't serve the superintendent. You don't serve the administrators. You serve us. We are the parents and the teachers. I'm a teacher too. I have a credential. I was an SDC teacher for 7 years. I am on a break right now taking care of my father, but this is my priority. And we hope that we are your priority as well. There are bylaws. I encourage you to read them. Get to know the bylaws. There are rules that say that if you are absent so many times, you can be removed. Get to know the rules because you will be replaced by your peers. Anyone at any time can file a motion to replace you. So respect that you have an important position in representing 6 school districts, 11,000 students. You have the power to make significant change in the local plan, change in the way that school districts run their special education programs, change in the way that money is spent. You have a very important role. I encourage you to contact us and we can help you. We can mentor you. We can give you information. We have resources. We've been working on this for over a year. I had to file complaints with the federal government to get this going. Our heart is in this. We support you. We want you to be successful. And we also want you to support us. We want to work together. We encourage you to join us and we work together because you guys have responsibilities and bylaws, we don't. So you do have some freedom. And we just want you to know that we want to work together. We don't want anybody telling us what to do. We have an opportunity to have open communication about our needs and to make significant change. This CAC has been in existence for over 16 years. This is the first real meeting. Congratulations.
Next, I have some.
Pull up the chair, is that right?
Sure.
Okay, thanks. Thank you very much. Okay, I went ahead and prepared some words. So good morning, community members, community executive members, and SELPA representatives. I am here today to ask you for the progression of a legitimate CAC that continuously works to build and uphold communication between the parents and each of the school districts that fall within the SELPA. I'm thrilled to see the growth and that this year is starting off with the beginning of a legitimate CAC. It's great. Each of the school districts say that they want to hear from and work with families of students receiving special education services, which is wonderful. The families are here. What is needed is the bridge that connects the school districts and the families. Although I'm thrilled to see that Sweetwater and South Bay Union are here. Thank you so much. According to the CAC guidelines, a CAC is a parent-led and SELPA facilitated organization. Based on the activism and voice of this community, it is clear that the parents are well organized and ready to participate. What is needed for the legitimacy of this CAC is the presence and willing participation of special education leadership from each district. CAC executive members and SELPA representatives, I ask you today to inform special education leadership from each district on the benefits of a legitimate CAC and then encourage them to attend each of these CAC meetings beginning with the February meeting. Without their attendance, community advisory is absent and the CAC fails to uphold the intent of the law. When district personnel show up, all members of the community will share the same messaging. Parents want to understand district finances and expenses. They want to understand the constraints of the budget, the teacher shortages, and programming difficulties. So hopefully Sweetwater and South Bay can take that messaging back. They want to hear about new and professional development and programming, and they want to hear it directly from the leadership making decisions affecting their children. On the flip side, through community testimonials during CAC meetings, the successes and difficulties that parents and students experience may also be shared. From this, district leadership can begin to recognize patterns where change and growth are needed. Recognizing these patterns has the potential to influence teaching, learning, professional development, and child safety in a way that more effectively serves the community than previous practices. And we can see that we had a parent today speaking about child safety in Coronado. A CAC is often referred to as a CAC.
10 seconds.
Personally, I prefer to use CAC. I do so because every time I say CAC, I am reminded that it is a three-part entity: the community, the advisory portion of the community, and the committee, which is you. I urge you to familiarize yourself with the CAC guidelines and to maximize the use of the CAC to build strong special education services that benefit the students and members of the South Bay community inside and outside of learning for generations and generations. Thank you.
Next I have Roxanne.
Hello, everyone. So just so you know, we started building this special community last year, and we've been growing ever since. We're a group of parents, teachers, and community members, all here for the same purpose: to form this CAC and be an active part of it. It hasn't been easy. We faced a lot of pushbacks along the way, but seeing people here today means a lot to us. It means we're actually doing something for a change. We want the public to know that there is support out there for parents, and we're eager to collaborate with anyone who shares our mission. Until then, the door is open for anyone who wants to join us. It's important for everyone here to know and follow the rules. Our community is counting on you to fulfill your role, which is to advise, not serve the superintendent. Your responsibility is to stand up for the needs and rights of our students and families, to advise the superintendent on what's best for them. I'm also excited to share that some of our parents are now running for board members in their school districts, and they are here with us today. This shows the power of our community and the impact we're making. We've set up a training that you can access by scanning a QR code we've provided, and we offer free advocacy support at IEP meetings, free, because we know how critical it is for families to have someone by their side. Our goal is to empower and inform parents so you're never alone in the process. So let's stay strong, stay focused, and keep moving forward. Thank you.
Okay. Am I saying your name right?
Kenya.
Kenya, okay.
Yeah,
Just wanna make sure.
I'm recording.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kenia Peraza, and I'm currently running for school board of San Isidro. Nice meeting you all. We are a group of parents, teachers, and community members, all here for the same purpose: to form this state mandated CAC. And it hasn't been easy. We've faced a lot of pushback along the way. But seeing people here today is a huge step forward. We want the public to know that there is support out there for parents, and we are eager to collaborate with anyone who shares our mission. Until then, the door is open for anyone who wants to join. It is important for everyone here to know and follow the rules. Our community is counting on you to fulfill your role as well, which is to advise all of the parents, which is to make the great decisions for the students, because there has been a lot of lack of services and, a lot of things that our students needs. It starts in San Isidro and it ends up in Sweetwater. I'm also excited to share that we finally have a San Isidro committee, and I'm glad that all of you are here. We advocated so much for you guys to be here. And we are still advocating for some of the districts that are still lacking of our representatives. So we want them all, and please let us know how can we help you. Anything, we are a group. Please don't let other voices, other parents' voices out of your community, because that's the whole point. We are a community advisory committee. And as you see here, some of our signs, unidos somos más fuertes, together we're stronger, and it's all for our students. It's all for a better change, for them to actually have a FAPE, through free and appropriate public education, and also for them to actually learn. Now, we don't want daycares in our schools. We want for them to learn, because as all of you know, our students can learn in a different way, and we just need to find out the way, how can they learn with our support and yours. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
All right, and then I have Angelica Martinez. And that's the last public comment that I have.
Hi, good morning. Is this on? My name is Angelica Martinez, and I'm running for Sweetwater Union High School District, trustee area 2. And obviously I'm here because I'm a concerned parent. And I'm a proud parent of this district, but I know that we could do a little better. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. So I know that, like me, many of you care deeply about the well-being and success of our children. I believe that's why we're all here, and I believe that's why you parents and advocates of life in the CAC. The Community Advisory Committee plays such an important role in connecting parents with the district and providing support, especially to those of us navigating the complexities of special education. I know the CAC has done good work, and I truly appreciate the effort that goes into serving families in our community. That being said, I believe we can do even more. As a parent, I see how much we need regular, reliable support, not just for our children, but for ourselves as advocates. We need more frequent opportunities to come together, ask questions, and learn from each other. I would love to see the CAC host monthly meetings, creating a space where parents can share their experiences, find resources, and feel empowered to better support our children. I know that working together as a community is how we create the best outcomes for our kids. With a stronger connection between parents and the CAC, I'm confident we can build a more inclusive and supportive environment for every child, particularly those with special needs. Thank you so much for your time and for all the work you do. I look forward to seeing how we can all come together to make this vision a reality. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. So that concludes our public comments. So next, I'm going to hand it over to Diana Lynn to do the South County SELPA update.
I hope I do. My phone is
My apologies, sorry. Oh, there it is, it came up. Just automatically appears there. All right, there we go, all right. So I wanted to bring you our update for the CAC, for what's been happening at the SELPA. We've had a lot of things that we have done as a SELPA. We've hosted several professional development for parents. From August to September, we did Summer SELPA Parent IEP Academy, August 15th through September 11th. In October, we did a fall version, so we're right in the middle of that right now. October 16th through November 20th. We actually have 2 concurrent trainings going on during that time. On November 4th, we have a training called Breaking Barriers, How to Support a Child with a Visual Impairment. In December, we have Positive Behavior Supports at Home. In January through February 12th, we have a Winter SELPA Academy, so I heard some parents requesting some further 101s on IEPs. That's what those parent IEP academies are. They're for parents to get an intro on what an IEP is and what it means to have a child with a disability and what it means to have an IEP. And then in February, we're having a really neat training from someone from the Sweetwater or the Southwestern Community Colleges. She's coming in to do a training on transitioning community college supports for parents and students. So we're super excited about that. Our events with districts and schools for parent trainings. In July, we did several. We did Special Needs Resource Foundation, a San Diego Interactive Day of Play. Child Development Association Resource Fair. In Chula Vista, we did the Harborside Community School Resource Fair. Reach Out to Families Resource Fair with southbay, and then we participated in the Chula Vista Community Expo. In August, we did the South County SELPA, excuse the typo, Resource Fair, which was such a success. We had over 200 guests that came and participated, over 36 vendors. It was really, really an amazing event. Then we also had the Native-based Coronado Back to School Jam that we participated in, and also the Back to School Ice Cream Social in Coronado that we participated in August. In September, we went and did a Special Education 101 for San Ysidro School District. We also were part of the South County Collaborative for Sweetwater Union High School District. We also did the Community Schools Collaborative with Southwestern College. We attended the Palomar Community Schools Resource Fair with Chula Vista Elementary School District. And then the South County SELPA participated in La Lengua de Señas Mexicana, Part 2. And then Part C to B transitions training for Chula Vista Elementary School District. We've been doing individual training, so we've done that in September. We're doing it again in October with South Bay Union School District. The National School District, we participated in the Family Summit, which was held 2 Saturdays ago. And then we also attended the 10th Annual Feria Partnership Conference. And then we are also participating in the CAVE 65 Mini Conference. So future community things that are coming up that we'll be participating in is the South Bay Union School District Resource Center Open House, October 30th. November 13th, the South Bay Union School District Resource Center Health and Resource Fair. December 19th, the Chula Vista Elementary School District Coffee with the Principal at Greg Rogers Elementary School. And then our SELPA Art and Award show, and there was flyers outside for that. So we're really excited for that. And then I think I have the same things here. I realized Breaking Barriers, I already talked about those flyers that I will be that are hyperlinked here. When we post this, these will all be hyperlinked so that you can have access to them. And then our monthly newsletters, we have these in Spanish and English for parents and educators. So in July, we talked about social emotional learning for families. In August, we looked at common parent questions, and we had just a variety of parent questions that we provided with our upcoming events and dates. In September, we discussed life skills. And then in October, we looked at mental health. And so these come out monthly and are sent out to everyone that is on our listserv at the SELPA, that are students that have IEPs. So I heard one of the parents discuss about 504s, and we don't have access to that, but there is a possibility that we have one of our parent liaisons that does connect out or send those particular flyers out to the district. So it's just a matter of the districts then passing that forward. But these are flyers that we do send out to the districts as well to be passed forward. So, additionally, some trainings and conferences and presentations and in-services that our SELPA offers is we offer special education data and reporting to our district folks. We do offer a Principals Academy just for vice principals and principals, not for special education staff. So we offer that yearly. We're actually having our second session for folks, which covers 504 and covers IEP and 101s for vice principals and principals. We do look at how the culture and how we separate shapes in our schools, and so that is a training that we offer for at our SELPA. We look and offer training on functions of behavior, reframing school discipline with and an equity lens. These are for our school psychologists. We do have trainings on assessment. We offer a special education leadership academy that is really focused on special education for educators that are interested in becoming leaders to receive their administrative credential. We also do training on inclusion, which our equity and disproportionality team facilitates. We have positive behavior interventions and supports that we offer to our districts. We have our ED team that facilitates that. And then we have a whole department on alternative dispute resolution to try to avoid any conflicts. We have 3 parent liaisons that help support families and parents with any questions on IEPs or any concerns that they may have. And so we really look at building relationships and how that supports families. So that is our report. Thank you so much.
It's gonna take a second to plug that in. Yeah.
While that's pulling up, Dana, you had mentioned that your listserv is for those who have current IEPs, so that means that if someone has, if an IEP has stopped for a student, does that mean they're removed from the distribution list? Okay. Thank you for confirming that.
Well, that's kind of what happened to me, so it just takes a second. Oh, there, it looks like it's not clear. There.
Can anyone ask questions about your presentation?
You can ask me a question. I don't have a problem with that.
Where is the money coming from to pay for these events?
What events?
The ones that you just described.
There's different ones that we attended. There are events that we attended from the districts. We participated.
So for example, the SELPA art show?
That's, the SELPA runs that and facilitates that.
So
There's no
none of
money-
this is from.
That's all, there's no money that costs that. That's staffing that does that. It's all pro bono, it's staff that does that.
So none of the things that you just described are using special education funds?
Our SELPA that's from special education. Our SELPA runs that, supports the needs for the districts.
Okay, so that's my question. Where is it coming from? Is it on your, your financial budget list that's on the local plan?
Well, I can get back to you on that, but I mean, the list that I provided you is what SELPA supports to the local districts.
Right, so is it coming from SELPA support to the local district? Is there like a line item that says that and?
I'll have to look. I don't think there's a line item that specifically says each one of those things because they're all different items that we're supporting. Then we can set up a time to meet with you if you'd like about that.
No, this is just a question. I'm not trying to,
No, I'm just telling you, we can set up a time to meet though.
yeah, no, that, I don't want to meet with you. You know that already, Miss Lynn. I would like to know, we're in a CAC meeting. That's what this is about, right? So you just did a presentation and I have a question about the presentation. Am I out of line by asking?
No, absolutely, you're not out of line, but I'm just the
Okay.
program administrator. I do not do any of the financial support, so I'm just bringing you the updates of the things that we have done. So that's why I'm saying I could sit down and meet with you, with my finance person to discuss those things with you.
I'd rather you bring it back to this meeting.
Absolutely, we can bring it back.
Okay, thank you.
So while it's pulling up, the next part of the agenda is thank you. What is the next part of the agenda called? Just so that I'm being consistent. These are discussion action items for our CAC board members to talk about. We did want to talk about community guidelines and just gather some input from those who are here at the table for just things that we should be thinking about when we're communicating out. And then the next item are if we can align on goals that we'd like to, sorry, what I'm saying here is different, so I'm just orienting myself. And no, it's okay, it's fine, I'll get used to it. Goals that we'd like to move forward on, knowing that we're midway through the year and that a new year will be starting. So just some draft things based off of some discussion that we had before. So just to reiterate to the CAC, this is specifically from the website, just so that we can stay focused on what our purpose is. You've heard a lot from the community for what our purpose is, but wanted to put it out here. So our mission is to involve interested parents, students, teachers, and education specialists. And then vision is to encourage active participation to become knowledgeable, empowered, and effective partners in the development, implementation, and learning experience for students with exceptional needs. There's a lot of goals on here. I'm gonna be quite honest. I know that we're all volunteers. Some of us are working in the school district. Some of us are parents who are working part-time, full-time. So I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous about this list of things to do, but I know that we don't all have to do it all in one year. I know this is our first year. And so just getting us started, right? I think the community has done a great job of just getting us here in the first place. So let's see what we can do to at least move things forward just one step at a time. For me, the things that really stood out to me, and I'd love to hear your guys' opinion if you have it, is increasing awareness of available options. I mean, that was a ton of stuff that the SELPA has. IEP academies, right? We know that. I know many of you have met parents the first time IEP. There's so many acronyms, there's so much information coming to you. And if they knew that there were IEP academies that they can participate for free, if they knew that there were people that they can talk to for free, I think that would help, right? Is we don't have to create anything new this year unless we feel like there is a really quick win that we can do in the next few months. I think we leverage the resources that we have and see where we can gain traction. I'm seeing some nods. Okay. Yes? Okay, that feels like a good place to start for where we are based off of what's so I'm just gonna go to the next slide as a brainstorm. So as a brainstorm, we all represent different communities, right? Gosh, every child, if I think of the progress of my own child who's now in middle school, going to elementary school was different, right? The middle school communication is different. The high school communication is different. I have a neurotypical daughter who's in high school, and I'm like, just trying to wrap my head around that. So just recognizing that each representative should talk with whoever it is in the district to figure out what the best communication lines are to go through. I think what is important, we know that we heard that the SELPA has a distribution list that is only for IEPs, but I mean, there's parents who aren't on that list, obviously, that could benefit from these resources. So how do we get to them? What makes sense for them? I think that's going to have to be addressed at every district. I think if we talk about guidelines, one might not work for the other. So just recognizing that, I think it's going to be up to each district. The other thing is that all invitations should at least be in English and Spanish, at the very, very least. I'd be curious to hear if there are other languages in the district that you feel communications should be translated in, just so we can make sure that we go back. But I feel like in South County, at the very least, it's English and Spanish, which I don't see all the time. Well, I see it a lot in San Pedro, but I don't see all the time from Sweetwater, so. Fair. And the last, I just started to write down some things of invitation. So if I think about all the things that I get from the school, Peach Jar, Class Dojo, telephone calls, text messages, websites, I might see one, but I might not see the other, depending on where I am today, right? So just advising the districts to have a variety of ways that they're communicating out. I know sometimes I've talked to administrators and they're like, oh, I sent out a robocall. And I was like, sorry, I didn't listen to that one, but I might have seen a text message come through. I might have seen a flyer come through if I just happen to be checking my email and open it up. So just having a wide variety of ways that one event or one resource from SELPA that is provided in multiple different ways is what I would go back to my district and I would advise, maybe that's something that we can do for SELPA events too, is take what you guys have and make sure that it's in multiple ways. Those are just guidelines that I thought of. I had a ton of questions that came up. I know Melissa went in and had some extra questions of things to think about, so we can start to see if it makes sense to add more guidelines. And this is not policy, right? This is us talking as, as teachers, as parents, like how would we want to receive information that works, that I'll pay attention to, because there's so much out there. So I'm gonna pause and see if you guys on the board have any questions or comments.
So kind of like thinking about right now the communication with the schools, something that has worked really well with me is like whenever I get a communication from SELPA, I screenshot it and I send it to our principal. And our principal has been very accessible to share it. We're doing now talking points, not Class Dojo anymore. But something that maybe we should consider going, at least like we can go back to NSD and see as representatives, we can get an email from every person that handles their social media or communication in our district. So when we leave here, we can share it. Because I typically send it also to the resource person at the district. And again, they've always been very supportive in sharing the information. And kind of like a segue to that, going back a little bit, we have been suggesting to the district probably like for a year and a half, because it's great that we have an IEP Parent Academy, but I feel that it's so many steps to get to that point. It's kind of like, as a parent, like the acceptance and because like I look back and I wish this was, 2.5, 3 years ago when we started with everything, there was like nobody. And I wish someone would have been, this is the first thing that you do. So I think something that we have been strongly suggesting to the district is to do the same way that there's an open house to go and meet your teacher. It's an open house to go and meet the special ed team because I have no clue what an RSP teacher was. I had to Google it because when we started, they were like, oh, she's going to be your son's RSP teacher. Okay, that's great. What does that do? So I think like an open house for special ed, even if it's done district-wise, even if they send it in an email with pictures, kind of, these are the teams in our district and this is what they do. Because if you're getting familiar with that first step, gives you the strength to be like, okay, this is our next step. Because again, I've done the IEP Parent Academy several times and it's been great. But again, before that, we didn't know anything. So it was a very hard journey. So that's kind of like brainstorming here.
Can I ask a question? I really don't know how the question and answering thing is working here.
We'll figure it out. Thank you.
Okay. So your mission says that your goal is to network with the community, right? But Do you understand what the law says that the CAC is supposed to be doing?
Do I understand it or do I know?
Do you know?
We read it last time, but I don't know it by heart, so you can state it.
Okay, it says that you are supposed to be developing and updating,
As a CAC, right?
the local plan.
Yeah.
Okay, do you know what the local plan is?
Jackie, you guys need to discuss.
Yeah, see, I knew that was gonna happen.
No,
That's why I'm
the local
asking.
plans already.
That's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking, what are the rules of communication? Because this is gonna happen frequently, so I need to know what your rules are for communication. Do you want us to give you a no?
Yeah.
Because we know Miss Lynn is gonna shut us down, so, but we wanna have an open conversation. How can we get this information and inform our CAC? How, you guys are able to input on the local plan. It is the law. They don't want you to do that. You need to understand that. You guys have to know the laws. It's very important.
I have a suggestion, maybe it might not work for this time, but could we set up, like, I don't think it's possible, but like a way, so like questions can be constantly coming in.
Yes, I would love that.
Instead of, because I think it would be very time efficient, so that way, everyone has time to read them. And, or maybe, I don't know, something that we can go, kind of the same way that we set up that Google Classroom, but something that everyone can just send in a question and have. Because like, for example.
Do you guys know what the local plan is?
Well,
The local plan is the set of what, the plan for all the districts for 3 years.
And I think I might be a little for me, because like I've been, for such a long
And
time.
it determines how we communicate, how you become members, what Rogers rules,
But I guess like,
everything.
A lot of people here are just coming in.
But if you're just coming into network, we need more than that. We're beyond
there needs to
networking.
be a little bit of wiggle room here.
We're beyond networking. We can network all day long. We need to take action. Here's our phone numbers. What do you want from us? We need to get involved in the local plan, you guys.
Okay,
This
I
mission
appreciate that, and this is our, this is our
We
first.
cannot take guidelines from her. She's not going to give you the transparent information that you need. She works for somebody who has been having a storefront for 16 years, coming in here eating bagels and only picking and choosing the parents that they want to help. We need you guys to take control
And I think please.
and advise. She can't tell you how to run this meeting. You guys are in charge.
Which is why we're here right now.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming and sharing. I think a lot of us are very passionate about what we do and trying to serve the student, right? Number one, serve the student. Like that, that's where I am. That's why I came.
Look at LA Unified. Look at Del Mar.
Yes.
Look at El Cajon. They have a CAC. Look at their CACs. Empower yourselves and look at what they have going. They've got videos, they've got meetings.
And this is why I think that if we set up something where like the information can be coming, because the more knowledge is power.
Yes.
And if we know, and this is kind of why I'm going, starting
There's
like
even
super
the
basic.
CTE has a workbook, a whole guidelines on how to recommend this is how I learned
And
through the CTE
again,
website.
like I think like a lot of kind of like this is kind of like the starting point for everything, right?
So you guys can vote right now for another meeting, you know that?
Yes,
You
we
vote right now.
can.
Yeah.
And it's something that we would love to get to. I would love to. We heard the comments. We'd love to have another meeting.
But not in 3 months.
Right. No, I hear you.
You guys have a lot of work to do.
Tell you that.
Honestly, you have to look at the entire thing. It's a lot of pages.
I really, really appreciate the comments. And just because we're meeting here today does not mean we haven't spoken at all. So I just want you guys to know that.
Special education member teachers are telling me they couldn't get subs. That they want to be here.
Which is a struggle. Yes, there's so many things. There are so many things that we'd love to do. This team is getting together for the first time, and we even still have some vacant roles. So we're trying to get everybody here on the same page, right? Because you guys fought so hard for us to be here. And we want to listen, but we also have like a few things that we just want to take one step forward, right? Like, I don't know that I want to create something new, spend the energy of this team, if there are resources that exist that people just don't know about.
Well,
I guess
maybe
what-
you need
and
to
then-
have a
and then-
meeting about that, you
Right,
know?
right, absolutely. But how do we get
guess
people
the
there?
I guess the first goal should be where the money is going, what are the spends are going for, because that's the most important part. We need to see where the money for the students are going, because there's classrooms without a base plan teacher, first of all. So where is the money going? You guys have to take decision making and see where to spend the money, because you have that power. You're the only ones for special education having that power. You are representing the whole South Bay of where the money is going. So that's the most important goal I think you should guys focus and talk
Networking is gonna
about.
come, believe me, you're gonna get the people,
Yeah.
you're
Okay.
gonna get the support.
Okay, I have another comment back here, and then I'm gonna give you 1 minute just because I'm. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, that's another.
If you guys can please, I just want to be able to respect everyone's time, because otherwise we'd be here all day talking about what we want to get done. So I'm gonna give you 1 more minute, and then I'd like to go back to getting the board. Thank you.
So we dealt with, we called it CF on the East Coast.
Is that okay? Just so,
Sorry, you're good.
yeah, just so everyone.
We called it CF on the East Coast. My question is I'm new to this community. Do you guys meet as a board prior to coming into meetings to have an agenda, like a process to send questions in prior so they can be addressed, so it's not a bunch of cluck, 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 cluck,
This is
cluck?
their first meeting.
Yeah, so this is our second,
Wouldn't it have been better
meeting.
to not have an open meeting and just have a
First one
board
we
meeting
didn't know about.
first, then open it to the community?
Yeah, so I'll answer this one question just to clarify, and then, and we can talk about what makes the most sense. Because right now, this specific meeting was meant to be for our team to talk about what to do. To get aligned so that we're good on how to take a step forward before we come back together.
So you guys can have planning meetings.
Yeah, yes, so, we met in July.
And you
Not-
guys
and
can
not-
invite
and not
people
all of us.
to speak, like
I'm
you can
sorry.
invite experts.
I'm sorry, can I just speak and finish? Thank you. So we got together in July when we at least had enough CAC members to meet quorum. Some of these people, this is our first time here. As districts came back to school and went through the process of deciding how they wanted their CAC members to be elected, we started to get more names. At our last meeting in July, we decided that it would make sense for us to have an asynchronous platform to collaborate. Because of meeting times and all things like that. So we have a Google Classroom in place where we are discussing as a group what we want to talk about. So that when we come here, we can discuss those things. And a part of the benefit of coming together is having a public comment time. We're still trying to figure out what makes the most sense, right? I mean, that's a part of growing pains with anything new that you do, right? Your kid goes to a new classroom, you gotta figure stuff out, right? There are rules and things. I mean, you even see an IEP plan, you put it together, that kid walks in the classroom, it might fall apart. And the hope is that you have a collaborative enough team to come together and figure out what works. And that's what we're doing here today. At least that's what I hope we're doing here today. Okay. So I appreciate the comment and the sentiment and the fight to get us here. I also want to respect everybody's time because we have teachers here who have subs. And we're hoping to get through at least 2 discussion items so that we can take something back to our district to take a step forward. So that's where I'm at. You might be able to add stuff later. But for now, the agenda item is to talk about communication guidelines. I think, Mark, you made a great point of maybe our action item is to find out who the communication person is in our district so that we can open that line. Because right now, I don't know that it is open across the board, and that could be a good first step.
I was just going to piggyback exactly what
Yes.
said.
Okay.
Indeed, we are all here. This is a first. We're here just as well as you to try to come together, make it work, make it happen. This is the baby steps. Hopefully, after so many years to get started, we're all gonna learn and grow together, hopefully. I sense exactly your pain, I feel it. First thing, as far as talking about communication, that's where it starts. As simple as IEPs, late term, maybe we can bring or facilitate easier, more understandable for the late term parents, and just myself, that sometimes we'll make presentations and you're sitting there like, what? So easier to understand type, maybe we can start there to open and begin that communication between all and gain a little bit more of understanding on the back end of what exactly is supposed to happen, if that makes sense. So yes, definitely communication for our understanding, not so much the executive and administration type of understanding, but where we can definitely be like, oh, that's what that means. And yes, I mean, we do so much here and there, but what's really coming to us as parents, we're hoping to get there. So thank you. Hopefully we'll be able to represent you where you need to be, as well as allow administration to get to us in a more efficient way as well. Accountability and transparency, hoping to get there, but baby steps.
Thank you. I'm looking at the discussion questions to see if there's things, but I do like the first step. If you guys are agreeing with that. I guess one of the other questions I have with communication guidelines is, should those things be in certain ways? I mean, we've listed a few formats that things can be shared in, but I don't know, I feel like the easier the better.
So I don't need the mic. I personally dislike getting information from, at least, I'm speaking for NSA. That we get a text message that, now it's talking points. I don't get a notification, and that's something that I brought up and we had a resource fair. I brought it up that I don't get a notification in talking points when the teacher or the RSP or the school shares something. So I have to go and click it, and after a 10, 12-hour day at work, that's not the first thing on my mind to go.
Yeah.
So I think if things can be more centralized, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because then I know that when I'm looking for something specific, I am just going to go to one platform and not be like, oh, did it go to voicemail? Did it come in a text? Was it an email? Did it go to spam? Or do I have to dig through talking points? So I think if we can decide maybe on one or two things that, that way people know how to look for it.
Yeah, and that's good. Yes.
For me is, and for more the moms and dads, is more talking points. Is more, that's it belongs to the school. That's my opinion. And for principal is in Spanish too also, because the more the moms can speak two language. And he say, what's going on? Why did you say that? And I talk with the moms asking me, what is that? And so it's good he get more traductores, houses with the meetings, that, and when the people he wanna get comment or something like that, he needed that.
Yeah, you can look at it, but see, I have to email and I didn't even get notification.
Other things to think about for taking a next step for communication guidelines. Okay. So I'm gonna move forward, and then I think we'll add an agenda item to check in and see how it's going.
I have one, sorry, I keep coming one thing. So I think maybe now that there's representatives from, I think all school districts, I think if we can come up with something with our districts or coming from selpa and kind of putting it out there and kind of if you have questions or if you just need someone to speak with, these are the 2 parents or 3 parents or the teachers that you can reach out. Because I don't mind sharing my information, or we can make an email that is just specifically for that. And it can be that way, people can be hey, I just need to talk to someone.
in the July meeting, there was a brief conversation with going back to the districts to see if they, what kind of email would be available or not available. The group who was there in July decided if anybody were to reach out in the meantime, that it would just come to the SELPA and then we would forward it to you guys collectively, and then you would respond.
And I'm thinking of
But if
something
you guys
like,
have an email, I mean, whatever.
because I'm thinking of something, it doesn't need to be so formal, I'm thinking like more informal, because again, kind of like just,
Share
someone is
communication on where to reach out to.
just to speak with someone, or just, I just don't know what this is, I don't know what this means, and maybe I won't know it either, but at least you can talk to someone and you can be like, because at that point it's like, our responsibility to go back to our district and be like, hey, you know what, this parent is having a hard time in the communication with the principal, or this, like, what can I do to help them, or can you set up a meeting with them? So it doesn't need to be like super, formal coming from you guys, it could just be.
Yeah, we had everybody's names listed on the website for the SELPA.
Okay.
So it's just, if you guys want to share your email addresses, let us know, we can put
Okay,
a collective
okay.
email
Yeah,
address
and I
on
don't
there.
mind.
We weren't gonna share anything without
Your
consent on there, but there's definitely platforms that we can link whatever information you're comfortable providing, and then that way it can be directly.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
My wheels are turning.
Yes. Do you want a microphone?
Can I ask?
Yeah, you can do whatever you need.
Don't ask that.
Is it possible to do if they would like that? Would the principals be willing to do that?
I think see, and this is like the thing, I feel like our principal, I feel that, I think I'm generally speaking, but I feel that NSD has really willing principals, the principal that I know. So I think it would be more of a personal decision of the district.
I'm
and the
sorry, we
principal.
cannot hear anything. If
Okay.
they can share the mic. Thank you.
I was wondering if it would be helpful, but again, it would have to be on the individual principal of the school. Would that be helpful to have, they have the coffee with the principal for just the sped?
Of
Would that
course,
be helpful?
of course.
Okay. So, but
In
again,
Zoom
that
meetings.
depends on the principal, if that principal's willing to do that.
And then you will see if you have a supportive
Yeah.
principal or not.
Because it's, I think it's dependent on every school.
Yes, that's why.
On the principal.
Because So
just
I
for
heard,
several
yes, yeah, several schools have that, and sometimes I'm the only parent that shows up. Right? So it's heavily
Really?
available, yeah.
They're
In specific schools. So it kind of just depends. And I think that's what the key is, right? I mean, it goes to this first bullet point, is as a CAC, it's not, I think the struggle right now is every district, every school is different. The parents are different at every district, every school, and how they pay attention to the information that's sent to them.
So you're gonna be limited to each district. That's what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that we should go to the districts and brainstorm what makes the most sense with our own experience on how to open the communication lines.
What is the most effective and what is the most seen from the
Like,
parents,
where have
easy
you seen-
access, right?
That's amazing.
So
They
at
listen.
Sweetwater, you're gonna have to deal with the psychs. You've got the principal doing
There's a lot.
general, and you got the psychs, they're both management, but the psych is the one who runs everything when it comes to special ed. It's good to have a supportive principal, but you're gonna have to
Right.
get that psych
Which is
on
what
board.
which is what I was saying, like every school and district is different. And so it's getting the lay of the land for what they have seen be successful. But I mean, I would encourage you guys to talk to parents in the district.
You guys could even decide that you don't want the SELPA anymore, that you guys want to have your own special ed and CAC at each district. You don't have to have a SELPA.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I have a suggestion too. So something, and I wish that it would have worked out better with our parents, but, and this is maybe something to take back to your districts. Our special education department did quarterly, I think it was quarterly or every 2 months, they were doing it in the evenings. And it was called like a special ed resource, special ed roundtable. And every time I think SELPA went, they took someone from regional center. So they were kind of like, bringing the resources too. But and there was like a lot of communications like the weeks, and unfortunately, like there was one time that there was like 10 parents, and every other time there was like 2 or 3 parents showing. That was it. And me and my husband were 2 those parents, so essentially nobody. But I think that kind of the purpose of that could be very well, because what if there was parents there was a couple of parents that showed up that like heard it and they were not even in our district, and they had kids, that connected with regional center for services because they were not school aged yet. But I think it's a great idea.
Maybe you can propose childcare for parents to be there.
There was childcare.
Oh.
There was, and it was in the evenings. It was like, it was, and I think that they played around with the time a little bit to see, okay, 5:30 might be too early because if they're getting off at 5 to,
But
get
then you have
there.
sports activities after school.
And then they moved it, but there was no, and I think the one that was just going to happen was postponed because nobody.
Signed up.
I love that idea.
But that was done through Dr. Vargas and CC. But unfortunately, nobody showed up. But I think the idea.
What about an online? But an online option
No, but if
too.
you put it on.
Yes. I love this, by the way. This is a great way.
It's
for
an
us to move
online
forward.
option along with the parents involved, because that's part of the problem.
These ideas or these questions?
Those are what you guys are saying.
Sí.
Buenos días, yo soy padre, yo no hablo mucho inglés, pero tengo un niño en especial. Y yo tuve hace un año un problema muy grande. Tardé como unos 3 meses para resolver un problema de cambio de una escuela. Y vi que había mucha, ¿cómo se dice? Que cada distrito tiene sus reglas. ¿Okay? Yo me pregunto, si hay tanto niño tan especial, ¿por qué en un distrito tiene unas reglas? Voy a otro distrito, tiene otras reglas. Me fui a San Isidro, tienen otras reglas. Fui a San Diego, tienen otras reglas. Se supone que todos tienen una especialidad nuestros hijos, ¿no? ¿Por qué no hay nadie en este estado de California? Tanto, si hay dinero, ¿por qué no me digan que no hay dinero? Porque nos damos cuenta hoy en día que si hay dinero para cambiar muchas cosas. Muchas escuelas unas no tienen ayuda, unas no tienen los recursos para los niños, que no los pueden aceptar. ¿Por qué si todos son iguales? ¿Por qué no tienen todas las escuelas lo mismo? Esa es una. Otra. Me di cuenta también que si tú vives en este lugar, no te puedes cambiar a otro lugar porque tú perteneces a este lugar. ¿Okay? A veces yo veo que hay muchas escuelas tienen problemas con los niños en cuestión de ayuda, no de teachers, estoy hablando ya más adentro de sus ayudas especiales. No hay personas que les ayuden. Hay muy escaso ese problema. Por ejemplo, ayudas ya íntimas para los niños. Eso es mucha ayuda que necesitan los niños. Entonces, ¿por qué se están haciendo otro comité? Quiero saber si en este estado de California podemos hacer, si la voz de los padres valen. ¿Por qué tantos años no han ayudado a estos niños? Yo tengo 7 años, nunca había tenido un problema. Mi hijo es especial. Tuve un problema y yo no quise hacer un problema más grande porque dije, los que pagan aquí son los niños. Digamos o no es cierto, eso es oculto porque nunca lo expresan los padres. Dices, no, pues hay que cambiarnos de escuela porque es la única solución que encontramos como padres. ¿Okay? Entonces yo quise cambiar a mi hijo y fue un problema. ¿Yo sabe cuánto duré? 4 meses para encontrar una escuela.
escuela.
It took me 4 months to find the school.
¿Ok? Porque decían, no, la única escuela es esta, lo
Because
siento,
they
pero
would
yo
tell
no
me, the
quiero
only
volver
school
a
is
esa
this one, I'm
escuela,
sorry.
no quiero hacer un problema, porque si se hace problema
And
y
I,
vas a un distrito, vas a otro, y yo sí
you go to
bien
one
dije
district,
que,
you go to
pues, ¿qué
another,
está
it becomes a
pasando?
problem.
Oye, quieren ayudar a los padres, pero yo les pregunto a
They want to
ustedes,
help parents, but I want to ask you,
¿tienen a una persona que puede cambiar todo
you
esto?
have some,
Porque si no tienen, ¿de qué te sirve
Because
estarte
if you don't,
juntando
then
juntas y
what's the
juntas
point of
si no
having meetings and
tienen?
meetings if you
O sea,
don't have a person?
yo creo que tiene que haber alguien
I
que
think there has to
cambie
be
todo
someone
esto. Si
who can
nosotros
change
somos
all
la
this.
voz
If we're
de
the
este
voice
distrito,
of
¿por
this
qué
district,
tantos años han cambiado este lugar? ¿No han cambiado?
why has nothing changed across all these
¿Quiénes
years?
son los que pueden ayudar?
Who are the people who can help?
Porque pues aquí reuniones y reuniones que estoy
Because
mirando, y pues yo
I
quisiera
see
saber
meetings
si
and
hay
meetings and
o no.
is there someone or not?
Esa es la pregunta. Ustedes nos pueden ayudar,
That's
ustedes
my
están haciendo un
question.
comité.
You can
Quiero
help us,
saber
this
si
committee,
ustedes nos
but I
van a
wanna
ayudar,
know
porque
if you will
yo
help us.
puedo decir, ok,
Because I can
información,
Because
cómo
I can say,
ayudar a los
yes,
padres.
information
Pero la
about
pregunta
helping
es,
parents.
¿pueden cambiar todo
But the
esto?
question is, can you change things?
Gracias.
Se supone que es el director de aquí, Mazo Coronado. Se supone. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está?
I'm pausing because I'm conscious of time. I do appreciate hearing from everyone. I do. But it also makes me think about how are we as a CAC going to move forward if we can't get past line 1? I want to help. We want to make change. We want to hear you. But I can't get past line 1, guys. I want to talk, I don't know, we have to brainstorm what will work. Coming here today is step 1. Talking during public comment is step 2. Step 3, we're trying to figure out what that next step is for us. I think we're talking about opening communication lines. What does that structure look like? It's 11,000 kids. It's districts that, 14,000 kids now. It's different schools, it's different people who are sitting at the table. They all have different agendas on what they think is best for their kid. My kid is in 7th grade now, and he's been special ed since 3. Every year is different. Every month is different. Unfortunately, change doesn't happen with one person. It happens with a room full of people. So you coming here is a great step to trying to make change. We are here to listen and try to see what we can do. Hopefully in dividing and conquering, we can make progress forward. And that is our hope. I think that is all of our hope. It is, a lot of us are parents here, but a lot of us are teachers. So like, these people have been in the classroom, they've seen how it is. And so I'm glad that this is a place where you guys can vent, and we need to figure out what makes the most sense. So maybe that's something that we relate to communication guidelines. I don't know if we're gonna agree to goals today. We can get started on that discussion and circle back.
Can I make a suggestion, please?
You're welcome to make a suggestion.
You said you were conscious of time.
Yes.
Why don't you guys vote on making the meeting earlier? Because subs have to be done by 11:30 unless you're gonna get a full day sub. And you could start like at 9 or start at 8:30.
And that works for the teachers.
Can last longer.
I will tell you, I can't.
But you guys can meet before and you could brainstorm like that lady said, and
Yes,
then you
which
can
is
have a
exactly
closed
what
session and
we
then
were
you have an
doing
open session.
Which is exactly what we were doing before. So yes, those are definitely options. Thank you. Are you guys gonna say something?
I was going to say something, of course I always have something to say. I was going to say that step 3 might be, considering, time, because realistically, with how much we want to discuss, we're going to have to put more time on the calendar more often.
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree.
And via Zoom, if it makes it easier, but, to kind of, but I think even, if we continue to keep like the rolling document and even things like once a week, even for 20, 30 minutes to connect, because I think it's going to be more efficient more often versus separate, and then we have all of these things coming up. So I think step 3 is definitely going to be the time on the calendar for me.
Do you guys have, let's brainstorm on time to add to the calendar. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can pull up our current schedule. Because I also think we'll need to agree to agenda items, I think, way in advance. Because right now we have, this meeting's October 24, our next meeting is currently scheduled January 13th. Is that this?
January
23rd. 23rd, I did look at that. Okay, I want to be very, very realistic, okay? It's important for us to get together. I feel like it's heavy IEP season, am I right, teachers?
IEP's all year long.
Yeah, I know. It's testing? Okay. Testing. I was like, there's a busy time right now. And getting ready for the holidays, so I don't have a calendar in front of me. Let me ask you guys first, do you guys all have access to the Google Classroom, and is that working for you guys? No. Okay.
You have sent the invite, but they haven't accepted it.
Okay.
So I can show you before you can.
If you don't have access to the Google Classroom, let's start with that, because that's a form of communication. It's okay, we're here. Sorry.
Jackie, we can take recommendations for adding dates, but we would have to agenda side
Yeah.
anything that's gonna be actionable.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to
We'd
take
have to
action
motion
on
that.
adding more dates,
Yeah.
we can bring it forward at the next meeting. Or
Why until January?
Or we can motion it right now.
we have
Do
to
it now.
agenda-size it. So the agenda, anything that's gonna be actionable,
Oh,
have
yeah.
to be agenda-sized. So people from the public could come and listen and participate in that discussion. But if we're wanting to add meetings, we can take down all of that information.
I thought ex officio members could add dates.
Why would, yeah.
You
Why
have
would
the
we
power
wait
to
until-
do
You
it.
can do it right now.
Why
I
would we
wanna-
wait
Really
until
quick.
I
January?
want to start right now to make sure all of our board members, this is what I'm talking about, like, we are brand new at working together, guys.
That's fine.
Okay.
We're trying to
So-
teach you that these people can add those dates. They have that authority.
But they want you to wait until January.
So
What days are you
board
available?
members, if you do not have access to the Google Classroom, that's like our working area, please give your email address to Consuela and she'll add you to it so that we can continue to discuss. Okay. It's like, is that considered an action? That word? Okay.
No, por eso que ponga su email para que la puedan acceder.
Okay.
Give me a,
Okay, so we're starting with that. And in that Google Classroom, there's an opportunity to brainstorm there. Like, we ask questions amongst ourselves of what's happening in your district. Or it's not meant to be secret, but it's meant to be a working area for our team to hear from one another, just so that you guys know what it is. And it allows for all of us to respond to questions as time allows. We're still getting hang of it, quite honestly, but it is there and we're trying to work through that. That is opening lines of communications for us to move forward. I almost don't want to put too many steps up there, because I think we need to start with just the one of figuring out who we need to talk to in our district to get communication lines open with our.
So is that a follow-up item that we kind of want to, so we have something, at least one working item to start with? Because I feel you're kind of like
Yes,
brainstorming on
absolutely.
one working, like, do we want to, as members, go back to that, to the Google document and be like, hey, I spoke with be that first step. Go to your district, what's going to be the communication? Who's going to be able to share the information for us?
Just as a brainstorm for us in San Isidro,
Yeah.
maybe we should get a appointment with the special ed department.
Yeah.
So then we could talk to them about.
Absolutely. I would agree.
That would be our first working item.
You can invite them here too.
Okay.
Then you don't.
I've already figured.
Yeah, director.
I think open the community, ask them, how can you help us? How can you support us supporting the parents? Like, how can you help us get out all this information and get out the research? At least that's what I'm going back to.
Robert's rules. So in Robert's rules, you can motion, but we're not doing Robert's rules.
Okay, sorry, I feel like I have been taken off the rails, in a good way, in a bad way, in a good way, because I want to move us forward. So the action items for each of you to go back to your district and, decide who our, as the CAC primary person for communication is for sharing to the district. So that we're not limiting just to those with IEPs, but those with 504s, those who are still stumbling to get to IEP, to get those resources out there. Then we need to talk about adding an agenda item to January for adding specific meeting dates.
Yeah, you want to do it now, because you're not on the ground,
sorry, I
and
just
you're
wanna
part
make
of
sure.
Robert's rules. So Robert's rules say that you can do that now.
Okay, I don't know if you guys want, if we're talking about adding more times on the calendar, to meet. I think we need to decide when those dates are, and if they will be open or closed meetings, is that right? Or they all have to be open meetings, they all have to be open meetings. So when those dates are, and I don't know if it makes sense for you guys to look at calendars now, or if that's something that we can. I want for everybody to get.
Next month.
Pencil in one before.
No,
because
yes.
I know
Pencil in one
Thanksgiving-
before.
Thanksgiving break, and then December, I know
Before.
we're off like 2 weeks.
Before the holidays, then everything gets stopped.
So let's talk, if you guys want to throw out dates, right? But we also have to know space.
Yes, I'm gonna.
Here.
Okay, thank you. I'm like, space is a limitation that is out of our control.
Well, we can always partner with districts too.
Yeah, to
So-
figure out space for
So if
them.
districts want to facilitate a meeting, we can always work with the districts as well and hold a meeting in National, or hold a meeting in Sweetwater, or hold a meeting in San Isidro.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be huge. Yeah, right.
So like you mentioned with the holidays.
And that's what I'm,
Maybe like.
Like after Thanksgiving break.
see that we're getting ready to, that's December already, because Thanksgiving is November 20th.
Before.
Or before.
Before the break for sure.
Before, I would think if we get a date before, that will help us to move forward.
November 4th.
Another thing, can we make them also, do they have to be, can we do them via Zoom too? Because I think that would be, no. Yeah.
You can, but then all of you have to, you know what I mean, like,
You all have to
that would be a
be present.
decision that all of you have to make.
The week of the 16th.
Like everybody,
December 16th to vote.
you
yes.
can't do half and half, that would be everybody.
Oh, yeah, everybody's Zoom or everybody's in person, that's all she said. We can't be like,
But the
Okay.
Zoom meeting can be
We're
for
not-
everybody else in the public, right? That can be it.
Where is it written that they can't do
We
that?
were advised by our attorney That was what we were
But
advised.
this NSC does half and half.
It's, personally, you get more engagement in person. If there are people on Zoom, then they feel left behind. I think it's just better communication wise. If people are present, that they're present in person or everybody's present.
So let's do it in person, so that,
Yeah.
but like, if it's like more in person.
We'll keep it in person. So we're talking about the week of November 18th?
Yes.
No,
November
November
18th. The week before Thanksgiving.
And earlier?
The week of the, well, 11th
Like
is
that's right
holiday.
before, yeah, that's right before.
11 is a holiday?
Thanksgiving, so that's parent conferences.
Yeah.
So, I mean, your debt, ideally, November 14th would be the best. If it's a Thursday.
Yeah.
How does the first week of December?
I'm not in town.
It's good for me.
What about the week of November 12th?
That's fine.
Yeah,
That's a short.
Was that the?
So it's before
No, that's the week
the,
after.
before the holiday.
Yeah, because you don't need people.
It's conferences.
Well,
Well, for
But November,
You get us at Minnesota. Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see the date.
got the day off on Veterans Day.
The week off, so maybe that 12th.
There's a regional board of directors meeting.
maybe the.
The 12th is fine.
Or the first day,
Yeah, maybe the 13th.
That's what they're trying to say.
November, I feel like the 13th works better for me. I run here on the 12th, so.
That's good.
That Monday and Tuesday are like.
13th?
Or 14th.
Let's do the 13th.
The 13th, everyone good with the 13th? Yes. If the other side, oh, she's not here.
No.
No, that's, I'm vacation, sorry.
Vacation's important. So let's just clarify, because I don't think that we're gonna have a meeting where everybody's gonna be here.
Well, in the 18th.
The purpose
you
is
said
to
you
have quorum. I ideally would love to have a representative from each district. We're talking international, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's the only, it's only I go.
yeah.
It's to, I come back at 8.
November 8th?
18th.
Which is, yeah, parent teacher conference week.
Yeah.
I hate to leave people out, but it's just gonna happen. Could you guys make sure that you're connected so that you can?
Yes.
Yes, okay, I just wanna make sure that we at least have folks from districts, that can coordinate.
Okay.
Let's pencil in November 13th.
Okay.
Do you guys have a preference on time? You submitted a good point that subs can cover up till 11:30. Do you want to come earlier?
At 9?
9?
9's good.
What does space look like?
No, a las 9 de la mañana, es
Yes.
Para la otra. Pero que sea el nuevo horario.
Available until 10:30. But we could look at the PDC next to our office, it's just gonna take time to find that space. But this room is open that morning until about 10:15, 10:30.
That's not enough time.
So we need a space,
Is this?
yeah, we just take time to facilitate.
To just
I don't
confirm
think we're gonna
space.
unless it's this room.
And
it's
we're
gonna take time to
comfortable with
connect
doing
with the
that.
districts to see who else might be able to help facilitate.
What about the office where there's a superintendent meeting every
Yeah,
hour?
it's not ours, so we still have to
go
it's
through
not just
someone
always
else.
open, so we just have to go through the channels. Just as we have to go through the channels here to reserve it. It's just, I have access to see what the schedule is here. I don't have access with all of our other districts. It just takes time.
Okay, so
I'm sure
let's,
we can find
let's
something.
say, yeah, I'm sure that we can find something.
What's the time that we're meeting?
We're talking about 9 a.m.
To
Let's say to 11. so that the teachers can get out before their subs come. Okay, so someone has to motion for the meeting? You get the motion?
Hi, I'm Erin.
Okay. And someone seconding the motion for the meeting to occur on Wednesday, November 13 at 9 a.m.
No, that's.
Okay,
Place pending, right?
so.
Yes, location pending.
Location pending. Great. We want to move forward. We can always do that. I'm motioning things. Okay, so hopefully from that meeting, you guys would have talked to someone in your district to get open lines of communication, and then we can flesh this out a little bit more. Sound good? Okay. In the meantime, we also have opening our communications as a CAC, so making sure that everybody has access to that. Do you, can you remind me which districts still have vacancies at this point?
Coronado.
Coronado and Chula Vista. Okay.
I know both of them, I believe the last we had checked in is that they've received applications, they're going through the board process.
Okay. No, and that makes sense. So that agenda might look like welcoming them. I don't know if they'll be selected in time, but I mean, just getting us all together in one place is great. It's one step forward. Okay. I know that the teachers have to leave, like, right now. So what I'm motioning to do is to push the second agenda item, which is to talk about goals, to our next meeting. Right now, it is a brainstorm. There's literally things that are thrown to the wall so that we can react to and adjust. That document is on the Google Classroom, so you guys can add comments to it, so that we can refine it, so the next time that we meet, we can all react to it, if we get to that point. But right now, we gotta focus on communication guidelines, and then hopefully, I would love to have a set of goals that we're all comfortable tracking towards to, so that we can make some progress.
Does the public get access to that?
To the working Google Classroom, no, not at this point, because it's meant to have us go back and forth, and then we present a draft at these public meetings that you guys can react to, and then we can take that. But
Is it accessible under the Public Records Act?
What do you mean by is it accessible? Like, is it in?
Does it need to be shared under the Public Records Law?
It's a working document, it's not an official document, so I'm going to say no. Just like any working policy that happens with policy administrators, there's staffers that are working and reiterating and having different.
No, I don't understand.
Okay. I will for this purpose. Thank you for bringing that up then. At this point, I'm recommending to adjourn so that the teachers can get back to their classrooms and that we can meet in November. Is that an official adjournment? I just need someone to second that motion. Second. Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Meeting adjourned at 11:47. Thank you all for being here and spending your time here. And we will talk in November. Thank you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it had a different purpose, so I didn't want to. Absolutely.
There's only so much you can get done. Like, I want to hear, but we need.
Yeah, our ordinance. Thank you, Erica. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, nice to meet you. My daughter's on Sandy too. Yeah, she's loving it. It's funny in her orientation, she was like, "What's the sped program like?" I'm like, "Your brother's coming 2 years after." And I'm like, "It might change. I don't know." Like, things happen.
Ay, pues unas veces a las juntas que en National City, ¿no? Ay, en San Isidro. Sí, ella iba.
Ah, sí, qué bien. Ay, aquí debes de estar en todas las juntas. A ver. Ay,
Try our best. Check into it. Nice to meet you. Take care.
Because they said find out. Okay. I think so. Okay, good.
what am I doing? Ah, there it is.
Nice to see you too.
Okay. Se acabó.